G'day Evie Network. It's been a bit of a slow news week over the last week in the electric vehicle landscape, so I thought today I might discuss what the global uptake in electric vehicles may mean for the mining industry here in Australia, and how electric vehicles are making mining safer and cheaper. Sitting somewhat in the shadow of last year's racket over iron ore prices, you may not be aware that Australia produces lithium. Lots of lithium. In fact, we are the world's biggest exporter of lithium. Last year, we produced 49% of the global supply, and 46% of the world's consumption goes into rechargeable batteries. At the moment, there are 4.4 million global electric vehicle sales forecasted for this year. That figure is expected to grow to 26 million annual sales by 2030, but that figure is likely to be exceeded. If the shift to solid-state batteries happens by 2030, which could mean that fast charging to 80% would take just 12 minutes, there would likely be another increase in the demand for lithium. Australian company Vulcan Energy last week announced that they are applying to dual list on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. The company intends on entering the prime standard market segment, which has the highest transparency requirements of all market segments on the FSE. Their point of difference? The Zero Carbon Lithium Project. They are aiming to become the world's first lithium producer with net zero greenhouse emissions, without open pit mines or evaporation ponds. At the moment, their focus is on Europe with their mine in Germany, but I encourage you to find out more about their practices in the description below. As the method matures, it would be interesting to see if it can be implemented on Australia's vast supply of lithium. Unless you're an electric vehicle buff or an electrical engineer, you may be unaware of just how integral cobalt is to our daily life. Chances are it's in the device you're watching this video on. Over the years, it's received a fairly bad rap for the mining practices surrounding it, but this is something that Cobalt Blue's Broken Hill project seeks to provide a solution to. Cobalt is, for the most part, a byproduct of copper or nickel, and that's where the environmental issues with mining it largely come from. Cobalt Blue have developed a way to extract cobalt with no acidic byproducts. The process is actually cheaper as well as environmentally friendly. The project is expected to produce 4,000 tons of battery-ready cobalt every year with a lifespan of over 20 years. What's also interesting about this project is that the cobalt will be refined on site, averting the usual process of sending it off to China. This project is a wonderful example of the environmentally conscious future for cobalt production here in Australia. You may have heard that BHP and Tesla have entered into an agreement to supply nickel from BHP's Nickel West operations to Tesla. Yeah, very cool. But what you might not have heard is that BHP and Toyota have an agreement for Toyota to supply electric converted Land Cruiser 70s for BHP to use at the Nickel West operations. This is a part of BHP's plan to lower emissions, but it's also safer for these vehicles to be used underground and cheaper in that it does not require as much ventilation. None of what we've discussed here today is investment advice. It is purely for informational purposes. But let us know what you think in the comments. If you liked this video, give us a like and a subscribe, and find out where your closest EV fast charger is in the link below. I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining.